On June 18, 2018, a 20-year-old multi-platinum music icon was ambushed and killed inside a luxury sports car, kicking off one of the biggest, most chaotic homicide investigations in recent hip-hop history. Millions of fans were demanding answers, internet conspiracy theories were exploding by the hour, and detectives were facing a massive puzzle. But the break that ultimately unraveled the entire mystery didn't come from a sophisticated wiretap or a high-profile industry rival. It came down to a guy walking into a local shop and buying a single pair of bright orange sandals. Just a quick heads up before the story begins. Every single name, location, and piece of evidence you're about to hear is completely real, taken directly from public federal court transcripts and official police records. None of the details have been fictionalized or altered for drama. Because of the serious nature of these real-world events, viewer discretion is advised as we walk through the exact steps of the case. The narrative surrounding the life and sudden death of Jahseh Onfroy, known globally as the hip-hop artist XXXTentacion, is a complex study of underground stardom, severe domestic violence allegations, and a fatal ambush that triggered a massive federal and local forensic investigation. By separating online myth from documented law enforcement records and court transcripts, a precise, chronological reconstruction of the events reveals how investigators solved his 2018 murder, while simultaneously exposing the turbulent legal battles that defined his early career. The investigative journey began on the afternoon of June 18, 2018, outside Riva Motorsports, a motorcycle and marine vehicle dealership located in Deerfield Beach, Florida. At approximately 3:56 p.m., the Broward County Sheriff's Office received emergency calls reporting a shooting outside the business. First responders arrived at the scene to find 20-year-old Jahseh Onfroy slumped over the steering wheel of his black BMW i8 sports coupe. He had suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the neck and jaw and was completely unresponsive. Paramedics rushed Onfroy to Broward Health North Hospital, where he was officially pronounced dead. Inside the vehicle with him at the time of the attack was his step-uncle Leonard Kerr, who had managed to escape the car unharmed during the initial confrontation to scream for help. Investigators immediately secured the perimeter, treating the parking lot as an active homicide scene. Forensic technicians began processing the vehicle and the immediate surroundings for physical evidence. The initial physical assessment revealed that Onfroy's luxury Louis Vuitton bag, which contained $50,000 in cash that he had withdrawn from a Bank of America branch earlier that afternoon, was missing from the passenger side of the car. Ballistics experts recovered spent shell casings from the scene, determining that a high-velocity firearm had been discharged at close range through the driver's side window. The lack of scattered physical clues in the parking lot meant that detectives had to rely heavily on digital forensics and surveillance technology to reconstruct how the attackers knew the rapper's exact location. Detectives from the Broward County Sheriff's Office quickly gathered and reviewed high-definition surveillance footage from both the interior and exterior cameras of Riva Motorsports. The footage provided the first major breakthrough in the timeline. It showed that at 3:30 p.m., Onfroy entered the showroom accompanied by Kerr. Just 2 minutes later, a dark-colored Dodge Journey SUV pulled into the parking lot. Two men exited the SUV and walked directly into the dealership. The interior security cameras captured one of these men wearing bright orange sandals and a white shirt, walking past Onfroy and purchasing a black neoprene face mask from the parts counter. This individual was identified by store staff as a recurring customer, and electronic sales records quickly provided detectives with a name, Dedrick Devonshire Williams. The security cameras outside showed that after purchasing the mask, Williams and his companion returned to the parked Dodge Journey, moving the vehicle to a strategic position that blocked the main exit of the parking lot. At 3:55 p.m., Onfroy's BMW drove toward the exit. The surveillance video captured the exact moment the Dodge Journey swerved in front of the sports car, trapping it. Two armed, masked men jumped out of the SUV and rushed the driver's side of Onfroy's vehicle. A violent struggle ensued through the window as the attackers demanded the Louis Vuitton bag. The primary shooter, later identified through digital evidence as Michael Boatwright, fired multiple rounds into Onfroy's upper body. The second gunman, Trayvon Newsome, reached into the vehicle, grabbed the money bag, and both men fled back to the SUV, which was driven away by Williams. With Dedrick Williams identified as the registered owner and driver associated with the scene, detectives placed him under surveillance. The digital investigation intensified as analysts monitored the social media profiles of Williams and his known associates. Within 24 hours of the homicide, Williams posted videos on his personal Instagram account showing himself waving thick stacks of $100 bills. This brazen display provided investigators with a clear financial link to the missing $50,000. On June 20, 2018, just 2 days after the shooting, law enforcement officers pulled Williams over in Pompano Beach and took him into custody on charges of first-degree murder. A search warrant executed on Williams' cell phone and those of his associates opened a treasure trove of digital forensics. Geolocation data placed multiple phones at the exact coordinates of the bank where Onfroy withdrew the money, showing they had stalked him across town. Furthermore, data extractions revealed that another associate, Robert Allen, was the second man who entered the motorcycle shop with Williams. Cell phone towers placed Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsome at the crime scene during the exact minutes of the murder. Search warrants carried out at residences linked to Boatwright turned up the black neoprene masks used in the robbery and internet search history on his phone for terms like accessory to murder and local homicides, typed in the hours following the shooting. By late July 2018, a grand jury officially indicted Williams, Boatwright, Newsome, and Allen on charges of first-degree premeditated murder and armed robbery. The structural foundation of the prosecution's case solidified significantly in August 2022 when Robert Allen accepted a plea deal. Allen pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of second-degree murder and robbery with a firearm in exchange for his complete cooperation and truthful testimony against his three co-defendants. This internal testimony eliminated any lingering defense arguments regarding mistaken identity or lack of intent, providing the court with a granular, first-hand account of the conspiracy. The criminal trial for the remaining three defendants began in February 2023 at the Broward County Courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, presided over by Circuit Judge Michael Uzon. The prosecution's strategy relied heavily on the sequential presentation of the surveillance videos, cell phone tower triangulation data, and the devastating testimony of Robert Allen. Allen testified that the group had originally set out that afternoon with the explicit intent to commit random armed robberies. When they randomly spotted Onfroy's unique vehicle entering the Riva Motorsports lot, Williams identified him as a high-value target who likely carried large amounts of currency. Allen confirmed that Williams masterminded the logistics, while Boatwright acted as the executioner who shot Onfroy when the rapper resisted the robbery. The defense teams tried to inject doubt by listing high-profile rap industry figures, including the artist Drake, as potential alternative suspects due to public internet feuds Onfroy had been involved in prior to his death. However, Judge Uzon ruled these arguments irrelevant based on the absolute lack of physical or digital evidence connecting anyone else to the physical scene. On March 20, 2023, after more than a week of deliberations, the jury found Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsome, and Dedrick Williams guilty on all counts of first-degree murder and armed robbery. In April 2023, Boatwright was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 30 years. Williams and Newsome were similarly sentenced to life in prison without parole. In May 2023, for his pivotal role as a state witness, Robert Allen received a reduced sentence of 7 years in prison with credit for time already served, followed by 20 years of strict probation. This tragic climax abruptly ended a life that was already heavily entangled in the Florida judicial system due to severe domestic battery and witness tampering cases. The background investigations conducted during Onfroy's life paint a dark picture of his rise to fame. In 2015, while trying to build his musical footprint on the streaming platform SoundCloud, Onfroy's personal life descended into extreme volatility. In May 2016, he met a young woman named Geneva Ayala at a local concert. The two quickly entered a highly abusive relationship, moving into an apartment together in Florida. According to sworn deposition transcripts and police statements filed by Ayala, Onfroy struggled with deep-seated mental health issues, including diagnosed bipolar disorder and severe depression, which manifested as intense, violent jealousy. Documented incidents included Onfroy destroying Ayala's electronic devices if she complimented others, threatening her life with domestic utensils, and inflicting regular physical abuse. The situation escalated dramatically in October 2016 when Ayala informed Onfroy that she believed she was pregnant. In response, Onfroy severely beat, strangled, and battered her, leaving her with severe facial fractures and a subconjunctival hemorrhage, which is a localized bleeding under the clear surface of the eye caused by heavy trauma. To prevent her from seeking medical care or alerting law enforcement, Onfroy confiscated her phone and locked her inside a bedroom for 2 days. The police report details her eventual escape. While Onfroy was distracted playing a computer video game, Minecraft, and talking on a Skype call, Ayala managed to slip past him, run out of the apartment, and find a phone to contact emergency services. Onfroy was arrested on October 8, 2016, and hit with heavy felony charges, including aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, domestic battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. While sitting in the Broward County Jail, an unexpected cultural phenomenon occurred that fundamentally altered his career trajectory. His management team changed the artwork of his underground track "Look at Me" on SoundCloud to his official police mugshot. The striking image of his half-blonde hair and cold expression captured the attention of internet subcultures, causing the aggressive, distorted song to go completely viral. By the time Onfroy was released on bail in early 2017, he went from an anonymous local performer to a prominent figure in the music industry, securing a multi-million-dollar distribution deal. The legal pressures did not evaporate with his commercial success. State prosecutors discovered that Onfroy was calling Ayala from recorded jail phones, using intermediaries to pressure her into signing an affidavit to drop the domestic violence charges. Consequently, the state added 15 additional felony counts of witness tampering and witness harassment to his docket. Recognizing the immense prison time he was facing, Onfroy began public relations efforts in late 2017 and early 2018 to completely reshape his image. He used his massive social media reach to post videos discussing personal growth, emotional vulnerability, and philanthropy, establishing community charity events and donating thousands to local causes. He claimed he was dedicating his life to positive energy, an evolution that many fans praised but prosecutors viewed as an attempt to minimize his impending legal judgment. His sudden murder in June 2018 permanently halted both his criminal prosecutions and his attempt at personal rehabilitation, leaving a legacy heavily divided between his musical influence and a documented history of severe domestic violence.